Hello XRP community, welcome back to the channel. Today is the day. After months of anticipation, speculation, and delays, September 18th is the date when the first XRP spot ETF officially goes live in the United States. This is not a rumor or a leak, it is happening today. And while the launch of the Rex Osprey ETF is a massive headline on its own, there's also confirmation of another important approval. Grayscale has secured approval for its large cap basket fund ETF, which includes XRP alongside Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Cardano. Two different ETFs, both connected to XRP, approved and ready to shape the market. The implications cannot be overstated. For years, XRP has faced skepticism, regulatory battles, and uncertainty. But today, XRP enters the same category as Bitcoin and Ethereum, assets that already benefited from ETF approval earlier this year. By approving an XRP spot ETF, regulators have essentially validated XRP's role in the global financial system. Institutional investors now have a regulated, safe way to gain exposure to XRP, and that means billions of dollars in capital that were previously restricted may start flowing into the market. Looking at the market this morning, XRP is trading around $3.10, showing a modest recovery after the slight correction that followed yesterday's rate cut announcement by the Federal Reserve. Jerome Powell's comments were cautious but clear. Further rate cuts are coming, with expectations of up to 50 basis points by the end of the year. Historically, markets have rallied strongly in the months following rate cuts, and crypto has often seen even greater moves than equities. That sets the stage for an explosive final quarter of 2025. October, November, and December are traditionally strong months for crypto, and October in particular has been positive in 9 of the last 11 years for Bitcoin, often with double-digit gains. If history repeats itself, the timing of these ETFs could not be better. It's also important to remember that the SEC has now introduced standardized requirements for crypto ETFs. This is a game changer because it means ETFs no longer need to be approved one by one. Instead, as long as they meet the criteria, they can move forward automatically. This clears the path for the wave of pending applications. More than 10 XRP ETF proposals are still waiting, and today's launch is just the first domino. By October, we could see a flood of new ETFs coming online, increasing demand and putting more pressure on XRP's limited supply. Meanwhile, the broader market is showing resilience. Bitcoin sits at $117,000, Ethereum at $4,600, and XRP has stabilized above $3. Altcoins like XLM and Hedera are also in the green, with gains of over 4% and 6% respectively. Despite macroeconomic uncertainty, the market mood is optimistic and the ETFs add fuel to that optimism. Investors know that ETFs bring legitimacy, liquidity, and institutional capital. With XRP, the effect could be even stronger because the asset is designed for utility and adoption beyond speculation. Ripple's partnerships with banks like Santander highlight how XRP is already being integrated into real-world finance. Santander's OnePay FX payment system uses Ripple technology to eliminate correspondent banking and provide instant settlement through XRP. With today's ETF debut, XRP is not only recognized in the retail and banking sectors, but now also by regulators and institutions at the highest level. This is why today matters. ETFs are not just investment products. They are gateways for adoption. They signal to the world that XRP is no longer in the shadows of uncertainty, but is part of the mainstream financial conversation. The approval of Grayscale's large cap fund further confirms this shift, showing that XRP is considered alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum in diversified institutional products. Looking ahead, October could be even bigger. Historically bullish, with multiple ETF approvals expected, October could bring the next wave of momentum for XRP. Combine that with Powell's hints of further rate cuts, the tightening of XRP's circulating supply, and growing demand from institutions and banks, and you have a recipe for a powerful rally. For XRP holders, today marks the beginning of a new chapter. Whether you've been holding since 2017 or joined recently, the debut of the first XRP spot ETF will be remembered as the moment XRP entered a new era. This is no longer about speculation or community hopes. It is about institutions, regulators, and banks aligning around XRP as a core component of the evolving financial system. So as trading begins today, remember that this is just the start. The launch of the first ETF validates XRP's utility, accelerates adoption, and paves the way for the flood of ETFs to come. And with October, November, and December historically bullish, combined with ongoing rate cuts, the stage is set for XRP to finally take its place as a central player in the global economy. Stay tuned, because the story of XRP and ETFs has only just begun.